Thank you, John. Retired Air Force General John Teichert joins us now. So Scott Bessent with some pretty strong words against Iran. Here is what he said about an hour ago. Listen here.
Treasury has mapped every node, every facilitator, and every network that Iran has used to smuggle oil and evade sanctions. Beginning today, the actions of Treasury and other agencies will tighten the noose and block every potential source of revenue that funds the IRGC and the evil Iranian regime. We are enforcing a zero leakage approach.
We're squeezing them harder now. Squeezing them to the degree that we have hasn't brought them to their knees. Will this?
John, last week we talked about how success was a race against the clock, whether the blockade would put enough pressure on them before economic conditions put pressure on the president of the United States. And this is another strategy that benefits us, accelerating that clock in our favor, because if we truly do carry through with these threats, then we isolate Iran, we take away their means of threatening internally and externally, and maybe this will put enough pressure to succeed.
Senator John Barrasso thinks that this is going to work. This is what he told Maria Bartiromo yesterday. Listen here.
In Iran right now, the maximum sanctions being applied are the things that are going to make Iran finally say, you're right, we were wrong, no nuclear weapon, straits open, let's get back to probably trying to get some sort of a life to the future.
It sounds like a lot of wishful thinking there. When has Iran ever said, you're right, we're wrong?
I don't think that's going to be the way this plays out. But I do think that if this does indeed isolate Iran and the regime, then it takes away their means to do the things that we don't want them to do, to repress internally, to threaten externally. Over time, this could succeed, not because they're going to say, you're right, we're wrong, but maybe it would take away enough resources where they wouldn't be able to do those things against our interests.
All right, well, they're certainly talking tough. Here's what one Iranian official, Mohsen Rezai, said. Any country that becomes a partner in creating economic restrictions against us will be regarded by us as an enemy. It's like, ooh, I'm scared. I mean, they're a toothless tiger. What can they really do?
John, I think you know a strategy is a good idea when you hear grandiose threats trying to stop you from doing it from the regime. They did that with the Kurds. They've done that with Karg Island, and now they're doing it here. That means they know that this could impact them severely. They're trying to deter us and others from following through, but I hope we do follow through, unlike some of those other cases.
Iran keeps saying we control the Strait of Hormuz. Well, apparently tanker traffic is up 400% over just a couple of weeks ago, so clearly they don't control the strait.
That's right. And I think if indeed we're up to about 50% of pre-war oil levels flowing through the strait, then the Pentagon has done a brilliant job with Central Command, helping unleash some of those other capabilities and ultimately in that race against the clock, alleviating pressure against us while ratcheting up against the regime.
Price of oil was coming down today. It's still higher than where President Trump would want it to be, but it hasn't gone crazy. It's not in the hundreds or 150s or whatever. But if this does not work, and sanctions always take a while to work. So I think the president is probably looking at a timeline that takes us into December for this. But if Iran doesn't fold, what then?
John, I think that we have to be patient here. It is going to take a while for these to actually start biting. It does beg the question why we didn't start these 6 months ago when combat operations started. But I think the president now realizes he's in this for the long term. If he's not willing to return to kinetic military operations, then this is the best play. And I firmly believe that by strangling the regime, then it does take away those resources and the means to hinder our interests.
Okay, so if we go back to kinetic operations, President Trump will order all these attacks. He'll pound Iran. Saudi Arabia will say, please stop. United Arab Emirates will say, please stop. Oman will say, please stop. Qatar will say, please stop. So he stops again, and then we're right back here again.
John, you and I have talked a lot about Karg Island. It would not take a lot for us to destroy Iran's oil export capability permanently by destroying some of those capabilities in Karg Island. And I think if we did restart kinetic operations, we would strike those targets before those other partners in the region would call us to back off.
Well, that would certainly be an escalation on our part. And the Chinese might not like it either, we'll see. John, always great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate it. Sandra?
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.